The console version of Rust has been called one of the worst game releases of 2021, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like things are going to get better. In fact, it looks like there might be a disaster looming on the horizon. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And why am I making a video like this? Because honestly, I find the console version of Rust to be a lot of fun. The PC is more fun in my opinion, but the console version isn't that bad. And a lot of the lag, a lot of the bugs have been fixed. So people are probably asking, Serial, what gives? Well, the reason I'm making this video is because there's sort of a bunch of people watching this channel. Some people are interested in this game and they're thinking about buying it. And one thing I want to do is make this video for you. The second is people who've already bought this game and they aren't sure if they want to put a ton of time into this game. Because here's the thing, with Rust, it takes a lot of time to pretty much get anything done. If you want to get a pickaxe or you want to get a hatchet or you want to get a base down, that can take hours of your time. And then some no-life is going to come and raid it while you're at school or you're working or you're just jacking off in the shower. And that is not the best experience. The shower part might be, but getting your base rated definitely isn't. So we want to talk about if you should even be putting time into learning the recoil, learning base designs, and getting creative with it. And the third category of person who might be watching this video is developers, because honestly, all the things that are coming out, all the potential disasters can be avoided. Well, except for one, and we'll get to that in the end. Now, here's what we've got. The console version of Rust right now is a pretty stale game. If you bought this game on release thinking that you'd get something close to the PC, or thinking you'd even get something close to the beta, you were sorely disappointed. In fact, the beta had more content than the actual game release. This is something that no other game has done before, and probably for a good reason. But it's true. The console version of Rust, the beta had more monuments than the game currently has, and this is months after release. This is a game that's supposedly ready to go. It's not in beta, it's not in alpha, it's not in pre-alpha or some sort of bullshit like that. No, this is supposedly a full game, and the beta had more content. A lot of that content was set to be released. If you look at the release map, pretty much every date has been missed by a mile. They were supposed to release community servers like 2 months into the game cycle, and we're way past that now, and there's nothing that's been done to sort of compensate players or make up for that. And the developers of this game, they keep dropping sneaks, they keep dropping peaks, they keep saying, look at all this great shit we have, and then they drop another bug release on us, and it's ridiculous. The only thing that is transparent about this game is the player models, and they're not supposed to be. It is just a complete and utter disaster, and frankly, the reason that a lot of people have stuck around for so long is because the PC version of Rust gives people a lot of hope for the future, okay? It really does. In addition to that, there haven't been a ton of really good games released this summer. I'm sorry to any developers out there, but let's be honest. Rust is actually one of the better games that was released this summer, in my opinion. But that is not going to be the case much longer. And that's sort of the big thing that I think looms on the horizon, and the big thing that developers are just ignoring altogether. They have a somewhat decent player base right now, but it is shrinking. If you look at what they've done with the servers, from what I've heard, a lot of servers have disappeared. Like, people in Australia are saying there are less servers running the game now than there were 2 months ago. People in Asia, people in Europe, they're sort of saying the same thing. Maybe not Europe, but a lot of people are saying that the amount of servers is dropping. In the US, it's very hard to tell because there's so many servers, so many players. I don't know how many servers there are, but there's a shit ton. But in Australia right now, someone said there's only like 5 or 6, and supposedly before, the latest wipe that they did, there were way more than that. So there's definitely been a drop in servers in some locales, and even if we assume that it has stayed stable and the Australian servers moved to America like every Australian should, then there's still some issues because the player count on those servers has dropped from 100 to 60 on a lot of cases, and these servers are still having trouble filling up. So it shows you that the player base is shrinking. Now, the developers have stated that they feel that the player base is solid and they're happy with their core community, and while this might be true, I don't know how much longer that core community is going to be sticking around, because here's what we've got in October. October comes and there is going to be a big game drop, and that is called Battlefield. I don't know how many of you have heard of it, but Battlefield is actually a pretty epic game, and it promises a lot, and usually it does actually deliver on it. So if this game comes, this is probably going to take a significant chunk of the Rust player base out. After that, in November, you've got Call of Duty Vanguard releasing. After that, you got Halo, and in between, for people who are interested in just sort of survival games only, you've got My Little Pony Survive the Rainbow. No, actually, you've got Dying Light 2, and this is an amazing game, and I really love playing that. I think this game's going to be dropping in December, and before that, you've got games like New World that are coming out, and some really epic stuff like Far Cry 6. There are some really good games coming out this fall, and that date is fast approaching. We're in September right now, and these games are going to start dropping in October, and the problem here is that the developers of Rust seem set on not releasing any content until God knows when. Literally, nobody knows when. I don't even think the developers themselves know when. They've said that community servers are going to be dropping soon for the past couple months. They've said that staging servers are going to be dropping. They haven't even been able to drop staging servers. For crying out loud, that is ridiculous. They haven't even been able to drop the servers that they're going to use to test out the new features that they're going to give to us. So when staging servers drop, they've probably got a month before the features actually drop for most servers in the game. So if they wanted to release a monument literally right now, literally today, and they stuck with the cycle that they've said they're going to stick with, October 9th would most likely be the date that that monument would drop on official servers. And by that time, a lot of people are going to be gearing up for Battlefield, they're going to be gearing up for COD, they're going to be gearing up for all these epic games that are going to be coming out. Right now, Rust had a prime advantage. They had the advantage of summer, which when, people have a lot of time during the summer, and it turns out Rust takes a lot of time. It literally is worse than a heroin addiction for some of you out there. And they had all this time, people had all this time, and they had the perfect game for dropping in the summer, right? People are sitting inside, they're playing some games, they're chilling with their bros. It is the perfect game to drop at that time, especially when there are no other games of any sort of notoriety dropping. And unfortunately, they've just dropped the ball at an astronomical level. I can't even state how bad this is. This is literally Hitler attacking Russia bad. This is ridiculous. They had so much potential. They had so much lined up. The game is so fun, and all they've managed to do since releasing it is fix a few bugs and add a few more in. Splitting a stack of resources was easier to do in the beta and the release than it is now, and that is something that we shouldn't even have to deal with. The fact that they fix one thing, break another, just shows you what state this game is in, and a lot of the community, they're not stupid. They realize what's going on. The second something else catches their eye, they're going to be gone, and they're probably not going to be coming back to this game because no matter what they hear, they're just not going to believe what they're hearing, and they're not going to think that it's in a playable state or a state that they really want to start investing the time that they'd have to invest to actually enjoy that content. And that's the thing with Rust. The content is locked behind hours and hours of grinding. And you've got to do that every wipe. You've got to do that every time. When players get set back to zero, a portion of them aren't going to come back. And the worse state the game is in when they get wiped to zero, the less of these people that's going to be coming back. So it is just a problem that keeps adding on to itself, and I'm not sure how D11 is going to get out of it. I just don't know. And finally, the one thing that I think could sort of be the end-all, be-all, like the nail in the coffin, is the fact that on the PlayStation Store and the Xbox stores, now I don't think this was on purpose, but if you look at the description for Rust Coins, for the past couple months, it is said that the skin store will be releasing in 2 weeks. This is something I've seen people complaining about on the Discord. I've seen people complaining on the subreddit. I've seen people on YouTube making videos announcing the skin store months ago because they trusted what was said there. And now this is all okay, except the fact that they're selling Rust coins. They're selling a product with false promises. And based on what D11 said, based on what they've said in the Discord about when the skin store is coming and all of that, it is a blatant lie that is selling a product. And this is something that most stores, most consoles, most companies won't put up with. If Microsoft or PlayStation really turns an eye on this, it is going to mean that they're going to really cut back on what D11 can sell, and they might even ban Rust coins. Force the D11 to give players their money back, and that's it. There's no skin store, there's no developments. The game's dead in the water right then and there. And those are the things I'm worried about, right? I just don't know where this is going, and I don't know what the roadmap is. So yeah, it's rough, right? I want to make positive videos. I want to make videos saying about how great this game is, talking about new content, talking about updates, talking about everything that's going right. But there's just so much going wrong. I can't help but make a few of these videos every now and then. So yeah, that's the problem I see coming up for Rust. Hopefully the developers are smarter than me. I'm pretty dumb. Maybe they have some sort of wild plan that's going to make this game better than Battlefield, Call of Duty, and crack cocaine combined. But I just don't see it. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, peace.